welcome to the Astro Imaging Journey channel. Please enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome back to my Astro Imaging Journey channel. And in this episode, we're going to try to take the monochrome videos that we shot in the last episode and stack them, combine them, and see if we get a better image of Mars than what we did with the DSLR. So you can see here we got the files. The first few here are the AVI files that will kind of mimic what we had with the DSLR because we can only record AVI from backyard EOS. But I've also read that the SER format provides better data than AVI. It's less compressed. So I'm going to start out with the SER to see if we can do anything with that. If that doesn't work, then we'll go back to the AVI since we know that should work. We will stack. Well, first we've got RBG. Okay, so I did 2 of each in SER, but I did not do luminance. So I think what we'll do is we'll just see if we can get anything out of RGB from the SER. And then come to see we've got 1 of RBG and 2L. So then we'll do one using the AVI, but we'll have the luminance channel, and we'll see if we can combine that in as well. So yeah, that should work. So what we're going to do is I'll just run through the process real quick. We will use Autostakkert to stack all of these these videos into a single frame, one for each video. Then we will come over to Photoshop, and we will use Photoshop to RGB combine our images. And then once we complete that, we will come over to Registax to align the images and sharpen the images. So that's going to be the process. So let's start with Autostakkert, and I'm just going to go ahead and we'll just start at the top. We'll do luminance, drag it up here, and so we got planet, dynamic background, no place, local. Okay, so we'll do an analyze. Okay, that has completed. So now looking at, like I said before, I like 75% or better, but 75% is only going to yield us what we got here. That's a good question. So this will be 25% here. So this will be 12. So we'll do the 10, 5, 10, and 15. We'll do 1 of each, and see what we can get out of that. No dither, normal stack. Okay, so yes, TF is fine. And what are we doing with our, let's place our AP grid based on these. I think it's going to be a little high. Yes. Go down to 24. Gives us 13. 48, no, 24. And I'm going to go with that one. 16 on the size, 30 brightness. Gives us 28 alignment points. And let's go ahead and stack. All right, that has completed. So let's look at percentage 5 and see if we got something usable. We will go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to rinse and repeat for the rest of these. And we'll be back when I get to the SER files. Should be the same as the AVI, but we will check that out. Alright, so those have all been done. The luminance, red, blue, green in AVI format rather. And you can see here I already renamed the folders to represent that these are the AVIs, so that when we do the SERs, I can separate them as needed. If we go into the directory, you can see that it retained the original file name, or the original file name without the extension. So we'll this way I'll know that it was a AVI as opposed to the SER. Let's go back, and I'll just pop this up here, and so now the SER, this should be a supported format. We come in here, we do have an SER option, that's okay. So we'll just go ahead and cancel that. And let's go ahead and look at this. So in the AVI, we had 9,800, give or take, frames. So let's look at the SER. And it looks like we got about the same amount of frames. That's good. So let's analyze. It was able to open the file. Graph looks alright. So let's place the AP grid using the same settings we had before. We get 27. So we use the same percentages, and we'll go ahead and do a stack. And let's take a look at the stacked image from that. And it's hard to tell. So this was red. We put this over here. And let's go over here and let's look for the red. We look at them side by side. They look pretty similar. I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not. So we might just go ahead and use the AVI format, but I'm going to go ahead and finish out the rest of these SCRs, or SERs rather, and we'll be back when this is complete. Okay, those have all been completed, I believe. Let's take a look at RGB, yep, okay, we're good. So now, let's go over and let's pop this one and open all of these in one luminance. I need to figure out which luminance I want to use. hard to say. I think this second one might be a little bit better. Highlight all of them, right click, and where are we at? Nope, don't want to use paint, that's for sure. I don't see the open with. So we'll just go on over to Photoshop, do an open, navigate to our directory. We'll use the 5% and open all of these. There they are across the top. We've got L, R, B, G. So now we're going to stay on luminance. We're going to come over to channels. Okay, so let's try going up to image, adjustments, no, mode, RGB color. Hey, there we go. So now I've got my RGB, red, blue. Interesting, there's no luminance. It's okay. I just want to look. I'm just kind of looking to make sure we're aligned pretty well. So if I we got blue highlighted, we've hidden everything else. Let's go to our blue. We're going to do a Control A and C. We're going to copy it. We're going to come back over here, select our blue layer, and paste. And we should be okay. So now if we go RGB, turn off blue. Okay. So now if we turn off all those, let's go green. Come back over, make sure it's selected. We'll do a V, Control V to paste it. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to select the red. Control A, Control C. And back over here and Control V. Now if we go here, it looks a little bluish now, doesn't it? But that's okay. We can adjust those colors, but it's no longer grayscale. So we'll just go ahead and we will export this. And export as, looks like PNG is going to have to be my option. And we will save that under, do a new folder. We'll just call it PS Colorized. We'll save it in there. So now I want to close these, yes. This time I want to open up just the R, B, and G because I want to check something. And I want to start with the R, image, mode, RGB color. Go over to blue. Paste that in. Now we're going to do green. Want to see if we get the same results. And it looks pretty much the same, so I'm not going to worry about that. So let's go ahead and let's open up those SER value or images, and we'll just go ahead and do the second set of 3. Go to R, image, mode, RGB color. This one's already in our red channel. We'll come over here to blue, copy it, paste it, and that might have done the whole darn thing. Okay. Let me restart because I think it reset when I tried to paste it. So I'm just going to start from scratch. Got our R, image, mode, RGB color. Going to come over to our blue channel, copy, select our blue channel, paste it in. Come over to our green channel, copy it, paste that one in. Now it looks pretty much the same, but we'll export that as well. Let's put that in here, and we'll do SER at the beginning just so that I know which one is which. And we can get rid of all this. Now we're going to come in here to Registax. So let's start with the AVI version, because if we take a look at these two, now it looks a little bit, I think I'm going to start with the SER. Let's do that. Just go ahead and drag that on here. And I think I had a schema. Start there. That was planetary start, but I'm not too sure. So let's go back here. Reset wavelets right there. RGB align, estimate. Okay, I think we'll be okay. Open up the zoom panel just to bring it in a little bit. Now if we go to histogram, Bring this in. Stretch. Pull this in right about to there, maybe. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. So now, let's see what Jupiter's presets look like. Ooh, that is bad. That is really bad. Okay, so we'll reset. And I know the moon's probably going to, actually not too terrible. We'll reset that. And planetary start again. Yeesh. Really bad. Okay, reset. What about the craters? I just want to check these out, and yeah, clearly that's not going to work either. So I'm just going to go ahead and now I'm just going to be playing with my wavelets here just to see if I can get anything to come out. Okay, I don't like what it did around the edges. So I'm just going to have to back off on some of this, but I just think my scene was too bad that night. Oh, and if I go with RGB balance, auto balance, okay, so pull it in about right there. And let's see. That might end up being about where I can get it. So let me go ahead and do all, save. This was the SER. We'll leave it as a bit, our PNG. And this will be our SER. Think here. SER sharpened. And now we're just going to want to check the AVI. Let's see if we get that one. How we get with that one. So our presets here are already same. Let me do a view zoomed. GP align, estimates. Yep, okay. RGB balance, auto balance. And we'll do our histogram. It ends up being about the same. But a lot more this out here. All right. I'll just leave that for now. Let's high, sharpened. I guess the last thing I want to do is go into Lightroom and look at them in there. So let me get that open. Okay, so rather pixelated. Got to be another way to combine those. Maybe I can do it in PixInsight. Maybe. I'll have to go check that out after I look at this. I just want to take a quick, just looking at it, there's a little bit of a rotation you can see. So there was the SCR, there's the AVI, and you can just see this shifts just ever so slightly. So you got a little bit of the rotation in there, but the AVI just turned out too blue, and it could be the way I processed it. But I just think I just need to pull some of these around just a touch. Alright, so I think that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get it, so let me save this, export. Alright, so first let me go find my first Mars image. Okay, so clearly something is different. So this was with the DSLR back in, when was that? September. And this was during opposition. I know the scene was horrible, but the pixelation, I think it was when I brought it into Photoshop. I could only export it as a PNG. So let me pull this into PixInsight instead of Photoshop. Let me get PixInsight loaded up. Alright, so we've got all three of them in PixInsight now. And you know what I'm noticing here is, well, they are, I guess, red, blue, green. Okay. See, I thought blue was darker. Let me go back over here. If I look at the red video, and the blue video, yeah, see, blue should be darker. And so should green. But maybe it's hard to say. Maybe the stacking, because this is the stacked image. Go back over here. Normalize the brightness. Okay. Well, let me see what I get out of PixInsight first. So let's go up to process. Where is that? RGB. No. LRGB combination. select our appropriate views here. And let's apply. We still get that bluish tint. So I know blue and green let's drop down to about 60%. That looks closer. Let's try this one out. Now if I file save as, I'm going to do this one as a TIFF. CR PI. Now let's go into Registax. Got this one here. To all. View zoomed. Why am I not seeing anything change? Interesting. All right, so reset. Okay. The other ones, it was doing it automatically. Maybe I needed to exit and come back in. But well, yeah, that just looks weird. But I do know that I need to do a few things here. That's weird. RGB balance. Why don't I have? Okay. I'm just going to get out of this, but now that I see, I'm going to kind of start from scratch because I want to go back to here. I'm going to use the SER data. Actually, I'm going to use the luminance data because we can do a luminance channel in PixInsight. But I want to uncheck this. Because it might have been brightening up blue and green too much. So when we get back to this part, we'll be back. Okay, so as you can see here, I rock and rolled through everything. And you can see faintly here that luminance is bright, followed by R, and then blue and green are much dimmer. So that was definitely that normalized stack. Completely forgot about that we were in narrowband, and if we remember the last episode, I made sure that the settings were identical from filter to filter. So there was no need to normalize between the filters. So if we go into PixInsight, as you can see here, we got our luminance over here, red, green, blue, and I used LRGB combination to create the composite here, and that didn't look too bad. And then we came into Registax and applied a little bit of sharpening over here, which I want to save that as Mars starting, just in case I want to do this again in the near future. And then I did go into the histogram, did pull this side in a little bit, did not pull in the upper side. As you can see, the red stretches all the way across. I did go into RGB align just to make sure we were good there. And then I went into RGB balance and I did pull down the red just a hair. I didn't auto balance, because if we auto balance, it just doesn't look right. So I did bring it just a touch in to darken it just a little bit. And now we'll go into Lightroom and do some final tweaks in there. So, alright, so now we're in PixInsight, or excuse me, Lightroom. So now I'm just going to play with my sliders a little bit. See if I can just tweak it a little bit. Okay, so let's export that. I just play with the sliders. So now let's export that. And we'll do, make sure I get to the right directory. And I'll just leave it as a JPEG for right now. So let's go ahead and export. We do this, JPEG. And then we'll bring up the other one. Alright, well, I think I was able to get a little bit better of an image with the DSLR. However, I do know that my scene and transparency conditions during opposition were worse than when I was practicing with the DSLR. So, as an experiment, can we do this using mono? Yes, that was a success. The failure lied with me capturing the data, and it was just the conditions just weren't good for my location. So I might try and reattempt this in the near future to see if I can get some better data on a night that has better conditions. But at least now I know I can do it, and how I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to go into PixInsight. Neat key takeaway: don't normalize the stack in Autostakkert, and use the PixInsight LRGB combination tool as opposed to Photoshop. At least those are the tools that I have. You'll have to figure out what your process is going to be based on the tools that you have. But, yep. With that, I'm going to say thanks everybody for watching. Hope you got something out of this. Please stay safe and healthy out there. As always, clear skies, and have a good one.
Thank you for watching yet another video from the Astroimaging Journey channel. Really appreciate your viewership. In our upper right, we have the latest video we've uploaded. In our lower right, we have what YouTube might think you would enjoy. And in the lower left is our subscription button. Please like this video, subscribe if you so choose. As always, clear skies, have a good one, and remember Duke.